All right, guys, welcome back. It is PSG 2, Arsenal 1, PSG winning 3-1 on aggregate. And until next season, Arsenal, I don't know if to start it. I don't know if to start it. But the truth is, I thought it was a good game. I thought the first 15 minutes of the game was essential for Arsenal as to how you start the game. I thought what Arsenal wanted to do was to, get on the front foot, do what PSG did to them at the Emirates, and you saw that it panned out. The plan worked a little bit, but again, end product. End product is what has beaten Arsenal. Arsenal has beaten themselves because of one. They're going to say it's because of lack of striker. That could be one, yes. But I also believe that a lot more was in terms of their tactic, in terms of what they wanted to do, in terms of trying to always get the perfect pass to get the perfect goal. I thought most of that was for the season, but this game really just showed quality in front of goal. If you don't take your chances, you get punished. No matter what the XG might say, no matter how the field tilt might look, no matter how might be dominant in the press or might be dominant in possession, if you don't score, you won't win. And that's what happened. So I thought it was a very good display of football. Arsenal came out strong again. They did their thing. Saka, almost scoring, but Odegaard shot. I thought brilliant save from Donnarumma. Kind of picking up where Sommer left off yesterday against Barcelona, and it was a stupendous save from the shot from Odegaard. World class save. But Arsenal dominating in the early part of the first half, and PSG unable to get out of their half. For the most part, I think it took them up to like probably 20-something minutes for them to really get out of their half. I thought Vitinha overall, his game was poor. We get to some of the players who I thought performed well and badly for both teams, particularly Arsenal. But in the 20th minute, I think it was the 27th minute, or leading up to PSG goal, cover is just a complete baller for PSG. That transfer that PSG did for cover from Napoli in January really has paid off. I thought the lineups, I think maybe Arsenal didn't expect Ousmane Dembele to start, which I thought which I figured based on him having a slight injury. But it was hard for PSG to get on the front foot. Vitinha was being pressed and bullied in the middle of the park. I thought João Neves tried to hold his own, but I thought Vitinha was targeted for the most part. Leading up to Kava striking the ball and then striking the post, that was really their first proper effort. And I thought that probably slightly changed the momentum of the game a little bit. But, again, Arsenal dominating, but still not being able to convert chances. And so, unfortunately for them, Declan Rice gives away a free kick, and you're not clearing the lines. When the cross comes in, you're not clearing the lines properly. And then Fabian Ruiz scoring. But I thought something that Thierry Henry had said in his in the halftime report, and I was listening to it, was that Saliba was defending, right? And the first thing that you want to do as a defender is to ensure that your body is placed as big as possible in front of the goal, almost like a keeper. But the fact that he said that he turned, and so if your body is turning, any deflection that the ball gets off your body, the likelihood of that scoring probably is slim to none, but still, a deflection, anything can happen. And the fact that he turned and the ball hit the side, then deflect right into the net, he was saying that probably you could have been done better in terms of how he defended. Try to just get hit in the midriff. Take a ball in the belly. You're trying to not concede. But unfortunately, PSG takes the lead. Arsenal is 2-0 down, and you could see there was a momentum shift. You could see shoulders slightly, dropping. You could see where players were just getting over anxious, trying to do more than what they needed to do. They're trying to be 2-3 men. You're trying to get a pass or thread a pass that didn't need to be thread. Trying to take shots that were trying to be perfect again, but and fouling because now you're trying to get back in the game, and it just felt hurried. It just felt rushed right after PSG scored and leading up to the halftime. But PSG doing what they do best, which was, we're going to go into halftime, we're going to look at what we need to do, and we're going to address it, try correct it. And really, the second half was just a game of, can you break us down? Can you break us down? Can you get the ball to get behind because of how we want to play? Arsenal trying to get as much shots in again. Arsenal trying to do more than what they needed to do. Saka trying to get balls in, but unfortunately with his crosses, persons weren't there. Marina wasn't there in front of Marquinhos. Martinelli wasn't in front of Hakimi, always behind or on the edge, and you could see where I think Saka was getting absolutely frustrated with what was happening. He was trying to say, I'm trying to beat the person, but there's nobody in there. There's no one to give the cross to. And you can see the frustration on his face. You could see it. And it rough. It rough for him. It really was. And it became more and more frustrating for Arsenal, leading up now to where PSG now begin to hit on the counter because Arsenal is pushing so high, getting in balls behind, threading through passes, and then now it's more 1v1s. I thought on the right side, I thought Due was just having his way. He didn't play a great game, but I thought he was having his way on the wing. I thought in terms of what, in the second half, what PSG did was trying to counter what Arsenal were trying to do in the middle of the park. And I thought Fabian Ruiz was the man of the match for me, personally. He was a wonderful ball manipulator in the middle of the park. Drawing fouls, bypassing the press. He may not be the most physical person, but he was physical enough to get past Declan Rice, to bypass Partey when he's trying to press, and get balls in behind. Kvaratskhelia, who was, I think, on the left, getting balls to Kvaratskhelia as much as possible, and targeting the open spaces where Timber wasn't there. So the open spaces where Saliba, now it's just him and Saliba 1v1. So I thought Fabian Ruiz was brilliant, but it's hard. It's hard, and to get how Arsenal conceded the second goal is how Arsenal has always conceded goals for the latter part of this season. Winding down to the end of the season, it's almost schoolboyish. It's very schoolboyish. I don't know what Thomas Partey was doing, and we'll get to him in a second. I don't know what Thomas Partey was doing, but I don't know if it was he trying to like spin or back heel to a pass. I don't know what, but getting the ball clipped off right there on the edge of your box, bad decision. And then you concede. Two persons are there. You get the ball. You concede possession or give up possession, and now you're on the back foot. I think it was Due to Hakimi. Hakimi does a lovely finish. 2-0 Arsenal, 3-0 on aggregate. You should think that it's game, set, and match, which I believe it was, and it still was. But it's just how Arsenal has been conceding goals. It's just how Arsenal has been playing for this. I don't know if it's a case of we think that we're better than you, so we can do as well, please, or we are better enough to get away with certain things. I don't know, and I'm befuddled, and I'm still befuddled to this moment. But this has been happening for Arsenal. This has been what Arsenal has been for this season and the years to come. And listen, we'll get to Arteta because I'm trying to understand his tactic and ploy into this. But you give up the goal, it's 2-0, and now it's literally backs against the wall. We need to do as much as we can. And finally, you get your goal. Was it a foul on Marquinhos? No, I think that was soft. That was a soft goal. A soft foul. So I wouldn't call it a foul, really. And you give up the goal. You give up the possession. PSG gives up possession. And now Arsenal are in. Trossard comes on. I thought he played pretty decent, pretty well. Made an impact on the game. Comes in, gets in, crosses the ball. Deflection from the PSG defender. Saka is there with Donnarumma. Try to get there. Ball ricochets, gets back to Saka. Now he scores. It's 2-1. 3-1 on aggregate. And now you have a game on which doesn't need to be a game because PSG, I think, are pretty much thought they took the foot off the gas. But Arsenal kept playing, which I thought was good. In the back of my head, I was like, I'm wondering if they probably might, pull off, not probably the upset, but maybe score another goal. And the opportunity did present itself. This again is what I'm talking about when I say Arsenal's conversion is something that needs to be addressed. Cross comes in, I think, from Calafiori, and Donnarumma misses the ball completely in the cross, and the ball is right there at Saka's feet, and some way, somehow, even if you miss kick it, it should end up in the back of the net, and the game would have been 2-2, 3-2 on aggregate, and now we have a game on. But instead, the same old story. Saka misses an empty goal, and you just kill the entire momentum for the entire game for Arsenal. This has been the story of Arsenal for 2024-2025. Unable to score the important goals. Now, this has been their story for the English Premier League in terms of, we're up for it. We killed Manchester City. We scored 5. We beat Manchester City or tied draw Manchester City 2-2. We beat Tottenham. We've scored against, we've dethroned the champions, but you don't have the silverware to back it. And I thought, looking at that game, I'm saying, this is Arteta's fault. No, persons may say that the board should have done better. I absolutely agree with you. You should have backed your manager. You should have gotten the player that you wanted. You should have really go hard for a striker. But I think it's more than that. I thought, looking at the game, let's start with PSG. I thought from the back line itself held up pretty well. Defenders across the board and the goalkeeper. And I thought that, the backline held up pretty well. I thought they played well. I thought PSG's midfield, again, Fabian Ruiz, for me, man of the match. But I thought Vitinha did not have his best game. I thought João Neves had an okay game. Vitinha was, I think, doing a little bit too much. Oh, and not to mention, let me backtrack a little bit. Then Arsenal conceded a penalty, which I don't think was a penalty. I just want to put that out there. That wasn't a penalty. That was soft as hell. That was very soft. That was an absolutely soft penalty. Should not be a penalty. I don't know. His head turned away, ball hit him hand. And then the referee is like, I'm sorry, I have to give it. I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't do anything better. That's not a penalty. But yeah. But overall, PSG, players, Barcola did okay. I thought he had problems. He was giving Luis Skelly problems. Due, of course, doing what he does best. I thought he played an okay game, and I thought Kava was very instrumental. We played a very good game. Not just only taking on defenders 1v1, but also tracking back to defend against Saka on the right, which I thought, if you have to put in the shift, you have to put in the work. And I thought he did that very well. Now, leading to Arsenal, let me start with, where do I start? Let me start with, let me start with the manager. If we go on Twitter, we will see that there is a divide to say that Arteta out. Some will say that Arteta has not been given the proper backing. Some will say that Arteta needs to do better. Right? There's a division there. In this game, and this is from Arsenal fans, listening to particularly Arsenal fans saying that in the first leg, if Thomas Partey wasn't there, he would have played, Arsenal would have played better, Declan Rice would have been further up, of course. So, when Thomas Partey comes back, it's going to be like gravy. Thomas Partey going to kill it. Thomas Partey we need Thomas Partey in the build-up and how we press and how we defend. And I'm like, all right, let's see, because again, this is not the same PSG that you faced in the group stage of the Champions League that you beat 2-0. Totally different team. But all right, let's take your word for it. Partey starts. Arteta, and I want to get to the main part of Arteta, but I'm going to start with the players. Let me start with the players. So, for me, the standout player for Arsenal in that game, I'm only going to use maybe two. And those players are Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard. Those are the only two players I thought that made an impact in that game. Trossard came on, I think, in the 70-something minute, made an impact on that game. I'll never understand as to why 1 year he didn't start, but I'll get to that eventually. I'm going to get to that because I want to get that off. But I thought Saka played his heart out. He tried to do as much as he could, but he didn't have any help. That's the reality of it. He did not have any help. And this, again, comes down to both management and comes down to coaching. Because if you have a proper scout or transfer team in place to support your best player, then it should help to alleviate some of the burden that is on his shoulders. And that didn't work. I thought Skelly had a very bad game. I think it's probably one of the worst. You could see the inexperience and immature way of how he was playing. Not immature, probably that's a little bit true. You could see probably immature in terms of his play. But you could also see why he is still young, still trying to get better. But I thought this game kind of showed up his colors. Saliba again, Jesus Christ. Saliba again almost giving away a goal. We should have been a goal. Did not play well. Kiwior, I mean, what's there to be said? I thought Timber was okay, but he was being leashed. Cover was having his way. And then in the midfield, Partey, in the first half, played okay. I think he played well enough. Declan Rice played okay, played well enough. Odegaard, outside of that shot, I thought played alright-ish, but after that, very unimpactful in the game itself. So many times I was saying, I'm shouting at TV like, Odegaard, just shoot. It matters not if it's the perfect part. You have the left foot, you have the angle, just shoot. Just shoot. You don't know what might happen. Just shoot. And I'm not even an Arsenal fan and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, yo, just shoot. It matters not. It no matter where you're there. You're cut inside, you have the angle, just shoot. But you can see that the confidence isn't there. And that was a major issue. I thought Odegaard was alright. Declan Rice was okay. And Martinelli stank up the place. Listen, listen, if Arsenal wants to do, like, really go somewhere, if Arsenal really wants to make an impact in the Premier League and in Europe, you have to replace Martinelli, Gabriel Martinelli. I'm sorry. Outside of a striker, I think that they need a left-sided winger forward that is able to be as impactful as how Liverpool had Mane. Martinelli is not that guy. Martinelli is not going to give you 15 goals in the league or 10 to 15 goals in the league with some assists, and he's not going to give you at least 5 to 10 goals in the Champions League. I'm sorry. That's not happening. Martinelli is not that person. Martinelli will never be that person. So now you actually need help on the left side. My thing now, coming to Mikel Arteta, is you came in press conference and said that, Liverpool, they got the time, they got lucky, they got the chance to win, but they won with less points than us in the past 2 years. I'm sorry, what? My guy, you had 80 and 81 points. Liverpool had 82 at the same game week. I just want to let you know that. Right? So, again, don't know what delusion or fantasy you're living in, but that wrong. But the fact that, fine, Skelly needed to come off because he was playing badly, and Martin needed to come off. He was playing poorly. This is where you are going for broke. You are about to drop out. You're about to be knocked out of the Champions League semi-final, and one of the cards up your ace, the cards are aces in your card deck, is Nwaneri, Ethan Nwaneri, and he did not play. Why? Why did Nwaneri not play? If you're taking off anybody, if you are going or trying to score, you're trying to get as much minutes for the substitute so that he can make an impact on the game, just like Trossard did. And if you're taking off anyone, take off Odegaard if he's not playing well. If you want to keep Partey and Declan Rice, take off Odegaard. Or if you want to go for broke, you take off Partey and put on Nwaneri. Seriously, these aren't like super technical changes where you're attacking. You need someone with attacking output. The young man is one of the best that you have. Put him in. Why not? And so now you have an issue, and now he doesn't play, and now persons and Arsenal fans, I'm seeing it, are saying, but why didn't you play Nwaneri? Now you're going to live in a what-if moment, rather than say, in play, and it never work. So, I mean, as Patrice Evra says, that Arsenal are like a Netflix series. You have to wait till next season. But it is true. The missed opportunities. I don't think Arsenal fans, and I don't think Mikel Arteta understands what the cycle of football is. Once you have a core team, but you also make you supplement that with better quality players, more often than not, you're going to reap success. Whether they're winning a league, winning a cup, winning Champions League, matters not. You get better. That's what it is. You supplement what you have. In basketball, the Golden State Warriors may have an older team, but they won it, 3 years ago, 2022. You supplement what you have. Same thing with Boston Celtics. They needed one person, Kristaps Porzingis, to come in, supplement with the core that you have that are quality players. You have not supplemented that. You have not complemented Saka with a proper partner to say, two of us going to take on the world, even if nobody else wants to take it on with us. You don't. And you have a youngster in Nwaneri who's up and coming. Put him on the field. If Skelly can play on the field, put Nwaneri on the field to play. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. But a Netflix series until next season. So Arsenal are out, trophyless season again, and great job for PSG. I thought, they've been playing excellent. They got rid of the Premier League champions. They got rid of the Premier League second place person. I don't think they run up as yet. And they got rid of they got rid of 3 Premier League teams. Can you believe that? Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. You get rid of them. So it is Inter Milan, PSG in the final on May 31st. I think it's going to be a great final. When when time approaches near, I'll do a prediction. But I thought today was a missed opportunity by Mikel Arteta to actually put his name in Arsenal folklore. But it is what it is, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Please comment, leave comments. And let me hear what you think. Is it a missed opportunity? Does Arteta needs to go? Does he need to stay? Does he need the backing? I mean, it rough. It rough for the man them. Nah, gonna lie to you, rough for the man them. But until next time, guys. Peace.